Into the high school massacre is
the shooting,
school shooting,
Shooter.
a school shooting.
Their school shooting.
As a student, the thought of something happening to me at school, with the possibility of losing my life, lies deep in my head, but not so far back as it is and has been a reality for many.
An estimated number of more than 383,000 students have experienced gun violence in school since 1999. That was when the first and most significant school shooting incident happened in America.
With more than 20 injured and 13 killed, the Columbine High School shooting massacre soon sparked a newly developed fear for many that will last until present day. At 11:19 a.m. on April 20, 1999, the two gunmen, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebob, two seniors at the high school, entered and started their killing spree at approximately that time. They had also planted bombs as another way to inflict harm.
After this tragic incident, new gun regulations across the nation passed, but seemed to have no significant change in preventing shootings. Not even a week after that massacre, another happened 2 days later on April 22, 1999 in Louisiana at a middle school. Fortunately, no deaths occurred, but injury by a gun still took place.
Shootings continue to arise as well as the fear, and has made a bad image for America due to the amount of times this topic has reached the news.
America has dealt with many complications in relation to guns and shootings. Why do shootings keep taking place?
A simple question, but a complex and controversial answer. To begin, school shootings are still ongoing because of these three main components. It is confirmed by studies that America has more guns than there are people. The current population in the country is 334.9 million, while there are more than 390 million guns. The U.S. currently holds the highest civilian gun ownership in the world by a significant amount.
With children having access to these guns, crucial responsibility takes place in order to teach kids the dangers of what the weapon can cause. The control of safely concealing the weapon so it is out of use and reach is important.
The general process of obtaining a gun is through a physical application, a background check, a firearm safety course which consists of the fundamentals in owning and handling a gun, and fingerprinting. Although illegal trafficking is done as well. Some states have stricter and more stringent gun laws than others.
In the United States, roughly 4.6 million children live in a home occupied by a gun that is kept unlocked and loaded. Tying in with the safety and control, in this case, it is the guardian's or gun owner's responsibility in ensuring the children don't have access and the importance of applying proper safety measures in order to protect them.
Yes, schools do try to maximize their security by installing cameras and applying more safety precautions, but many forget to acknowledge what's happening inside of the school.
Reports of concerning behavior demonstrated by the two perpetrators of Columbine were brought up, which acted as warning signs indicating the event. It is told that they were outcasts undergoing bullying, which in the time caused them to snap. That's a part of the reason why firearms are picked up in the first place.
One of the main concerns and factors going into the reason why the thought of shooting occurs is due to the negative childhood experiences or bullying taking place at school. Hence, wanting to harm those on school grounds. Perpetrators are generally students or former students of the victimized school. For example, another devastating shooting, the Sandy Hook massacre taking place on an elementary school campus, where 20 children and 6 teachers were tragically killed by a former pupil of the school.
The media is constantly justifying violence and making people think it's okay to act a certain way. From trends to threats, social media has poorly influenced individuals into executing these dangerous acts and putting others in serious danger.
Although we can't control what is seen on social media, stronger regulations should be made to further protect children. Parents also need to consistently observe what they have access to. 82% of students who bring guns to school live in a state with weak and unsafe storage laws, showing the need for more strict regulations to prevent harm. These states are also at further risk of school shootings.
This points out the importance of applying and carrying out stronger gun storage laws to avoid minors from having access and further gun-related incidents.
In 2021 to 2022, there were 10 instances of students having firearms for every 100,000 students. This significant number shows just how much of a threat guns can be in schools. It's not just about the numbers, but the danger that guns pose for students and staff, impacting the overall safety on school grounds.
I had a close encounter in California. The school right next to me had a school shooting, and then it was really sad, and everyone was on their nerves. And then what my school did there is they did like a bunch of drills, and then everyone was just, giving their condolences to the other school and everything. But it changed a lot of people's perspectives too. It just made me realize
What factors do students believe contribute to a gun being brought to school?
I think bullying is a factor, and it makes students bring guns to school because they feel that they need to harm other people to feel validated.
Some of the factors I think contribute to students bringing weapons to school is that oftentimes there's hostility between them, and that can escalate to one of them bringing a weapon to school. And if something happens with said weapon, it can cause a shooting or a threat where somebody's in a class and ends up attacking somebody, which obviously is really dangerous.
Just being under pressure and being bullied by others.
It's the kids that get bullied a lot, and the kids that get bullied a lot usually have problems going on at home, and coming to school and people bullying them puts more problems onto their plate, which creates a very harmful environment place for them, and they tend to take harm out on themselves, and if they cannot find fun on harming themselves, they find fun in harming other people.
I think some of the factors are, definitely bullying, but there's also things that could be happening that's not bullying outside of school, they're getting with the wrong type of people, or there's some mental thing happening with them.
I think students bring guns to school because they feel like there's no other way to address their situations, that they might have raised concerns or have concerns that they haven't voiced yet, and that they feel like violence is the only way to actually solve those problems.
Adverse childhood experiences are one of the main concerns on why students start school shootings. Few of these many childhood experiences include abuse, neglect, and substance use. Having an adverse childhood experience has a significant impact on future violence, victimization, harmful acts, and health.
In addition, they can also lead to long-term psychological issues that lead to difficulty in relationships and increase the risk of a chronic disease. Addressing these experiences early is important for improving health and preventing future problems.
60% of school shooters have either experienced in-person or online bullying. High school students who are cyberbullied and victimized often engage in risky behavior online, making them vulnerable or at risk. Recent studies have also suggested that victims of bullying have a greater probability of being involved in risky and violent behavior, ultimately leading to depression.
As a teacher, what role do you think mental health support plays in preventing school shootings?
Mental health support can help prevent school shootings because if we can identify students who are having problems with their mental health, thoughts of violence, threatening people, if we can identify that before it becomes a major problem and we can actually get them the help that they need, then that can actually help us prevent school shootings way before they happen.
Mental health supports would go a long way to helping prevent school shootings because students wouldn't be left feeling like they're all alone and that they have no access to supports and things that would actually help them get through the problems they're facing.
As the number of school shootings increase, so does the fear in our community across the country. We must find a way to prevent further issues in relation to gun violence. Through countless efforts, such as rallies and people voicing their opinions in an attempt to make change, little to no progress is witnessed in effectively decreasing these tragic events.
Aiming to maximize further mental health support should be one of the many actions taken not only to help the victims, but also those with built-up trauma. If no additional action is taken in this matter, what will the future of the next generation students look like in aspects of safety and gun violence at school? School shootings can happen without warning, interrupting the peace and safety we take for granted.